pounds. So these are the things that can really help us be able to serve the people better. Chair, I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Chair, just follow up, because when we finish the issue of revenue, I think we'll be done. Chair, yes. Governor, I sympathize with you with the issue of rating, and we are about the statutory instrument. But I am jittery, because your potential should be 65.1 billion. If I accept the property rate, when you come to parking fees, your potential should be 2.5, but you are collecting 2 billion, just as an example. The hospital and public health fees, you should be collecting 6.2 billion, but you are collecting 1.5 billion. The building plan approvals, and I see many buildings coming up everywhere in this city, you should be collecting 6.1 billion, but you are collecting 1.35 billion. On the issue of business trading license, the potential is 16.0 billion, but you are collecting 2.7 billion. This issue and this analysis of your revenue, but the liquor licensing is very interesting, because I normally see estimated potential of 8.4 billion, but you are collecting 338 million. I'm just giving breakdown, exempting the rating, the property rate. So does it mean, one, how do you, through the chair, how do you ensure that this potential is maximized? Number two, for example, like liquor licensing. I know most Nairobians like Cherargei. And whenever I drive around, you see Quiver, you see what, and even your senator with indulgence has always referred himself as Waziri wa Cherargei. I thought you should have at least corrected 5 billion to 8.5 billion. So what are you doing to maximize this other revenue that you don't need the rating at? Finally, you have said that you are moving to from non-cash basis. Governor, we saw one of your senior officials, although this is a matter under investigation, was found with 65.6 million, although I'm told it was more. You never know what happens in this country. And it's a senior county official, and you're talking about moving to non-cash. Why would a senior official be found with more than 65 million in a house? What is, the point is, I don't need to deal with the investigating part, but you are talking about non-collection through cash. So my concern, if you find a senior official and you have said you are moving to cashless, then some of us doubt, considering finding 65 million with one person is very, very dangerous.
Thank you, Chair. Let me deal with the substantive issues. Yes, the potential in those revenue streams that you have mentioned. I'm going to agree with the figures, because that was just an estimate, but it is high. But remember, you also need resources to collect resources. You know, you need to invest in equipment. You need, and especially for what we call the DCU, the debt collection unit. We are now getting into leasing to have more vehicles for those teams that go to the ground. And so the potential is there, but of course we also don't want to overtax Nairobians. We're not raising taxes. We've not raised for the last 2 or 3 cycles, but we're expanding where people can actually be able to pay. An example that counties have not explored well, I think apart from Kisumu and maybe Lamu, if I'm not wrong, is what we call entertainment tax. I think Kwale, one of the coastal counties. You know, the constitution says that counties can levy business and property fees, and B, it says entertainment taxes. If an entertainment tax of whatever percentage is put on a lot of what you'd call entertainment, it is a potential for all counties to actually raise some money, and it can be collected even by KRA, you know, as a percentage as they collect their VAT, without overburdening Kenyans. Yes, Senator Cherargei, Nairobians love Cherargei. There's been an increase in liquor, especially this financial year, again because of the same process. We now moved to liquor pay. Now liquor pay is a system that is digital, that all of those who are applying to run these businesses are now using. They're very happy with it. You know, it's very hard to hear people you're regulating coming to say thank you for doing that. I think finally on the officer found with money, it is not revenue he was found with. I don't think it's being investigated. But in Nairobi, first, we don't condone that. And I condemned it completely. I suspended the officer immediately. We've seen cases of people being found with money from national government, from other counties before. whether it was bribes collected from people, etc., it is wrong. And we must do everything we can do to tighten systems to prevent that. Of course, as I said, even in that in my statement, there's a space for personal culpability. You know, I saw the media, my friends here, trying to now run with it, saying Sakaja's officer found, like, surely, how do I know what you have in a bucket in your house or under your bed?
But he's your officer.
I have 19,000 officers.
You are right, he's your officer.
But when someone else was found, KPA, they didn't say so-and-so's officer found with 500 million, you know. It is very unfair when
but they ran the same headline. I hope you saw.
Thank you.
But the point I'm making,
In defense of the media,
Yes,
Sakaja, you know, I'm also ascribed.
they even apologized to me.
But you know,
I'm sorry. For the 4-on-1,
there is nothing wrong with them making reference to you because they also need familiarity, you know.
No,
the boss of Nairobi City officer is the boss is Sakaja. So
a very close ally.
I think we can close. But you have worked with him.
Very close ally.
Let's close. But some of us know you as such.
Yes.
Is your close
Senator, Chairman.
Progress.
Chairman, as we make progress,
yes.
Governor, I think you need to. I'm happy that you are condemning the officer who was found with money. You know, when you look at the projections on how much you should be making, and when you see an officer working with 65 million shillings, that should be an indicator there is a big leakage in terms of collecting of rates or revenue and the like. So you really need to, you can't blame the media. Of course, there is a problem within your own administration. That there is that window of somebody working with 65 million shillings is an indicator that there is a problem. So I hope when you go back, you will fix that issue, that weakness in system that can enable an officer to walk around with 65 million shillings.
Chair, thank you.
Chair, I don't know why the governor is complaining because I don't know if you saw they were saying the same. When you don't show up to the committee, the people of Nairobi are saying, go and get him from his house. Because they say you are my governor. Yeah, they say that I am unable to do oversight. In fact, even on this specific officer, the explanation was that I should know where all of the officers live and should be conducting periodic oversight visits. And now, so you shouldn't be complaining because at the end of the day, the people expect that those of us in these positions do something about some of these things.
So as we make progress, members, just Governor.
Yes, sir.
In the financial year 23-24, for land rates, we corrected 3.4 billion, but there was a huge leap for the financial